Thursday night football, Baltimore Ravens.
It's a good one.
Traveling down to Tampa Bay. The line here is crazy. Both these teams are just so unreliable. Do we just start with Tom Brady and how all great things must end? And they've done this so many times, and we've all done this so many times where he's done, it's over, There's no chance. And back-to-back even Super Bowl appearances for any NFL team is beyond comprehension. Like it's billions of dollars. It's so much hard work. But when you're playing the way they're playing right now and the competition,
Yeah, I haven't. I've been saying this to people. It's like, listen, I've seen the Patriots, what they had Brady get off to slow starts. I feel like almost a dozen times. It seemed like almost every year they got off to a slow start, or more years than not. They got off to a slow start. This is different. This thing in Tampa Bay, I think this is different. They
still have some talent. They're not. I mean,
Totally.
like Mike. I mean,
they're 3-4 also, and like
the division's terrible.
Is Tom Brady? And just speculation. I understand a lot of things going on, but do you think, at least compared to prior seasons, he's lacking in that leadership glue to bring? Because he's like
Mike Evans dropped
for sure,
which I think would have changed the game, because
that was in the first quarter. It was right at the beginning
3
of the
minutes
game.
into the game. Yeah,
so
for sure,
literally wide open. That's your best receiver. Like Tom Brady's got to be fucking pulling his hair out. So maybe it's not.
But once again, does that implode? And is he halfway out the door? And
No, I don't think he knows how to do. To be 100% honest, I don't think he knows how to do that. Like, I think, like, even if say this Buccaneers season just keeps going down, I don't think he'll quit on it. Do I think the thing about the leadership might be true? Yeah, like, bro, he went to Bob Kraft's wedding on a Friday night 2 weeks ago, and they lost both games. Now I know what people are saying. If they won, it wouldn't have been an issue. Yeah, well, they haven't been winning. You know what I mean?
This is the time where whatever time you're spending at the team, add 20%.
Bill Belichick didn't go to the fucking, you know what I mean? It's like you see shit like that, and it's I don't know, dude.
No one can challenge his dedication, his hard work.
Of course not.
It's not that, but there is a certain thing about kind of like Conor McGregor of like, it's hard to train when you're sleeping in satin sheets, wake up at 6 a.m. and go train. So that happens inherently. He's had a lot of personal things. The older you get, he just came off that win. No one can tell Tom Brady you got to double down, but if do
you think some of the young, like, he's got too old of a personality for some of the young dudes that you see him like chewing out his fucking line. Some dudes are receptive to that, and maybe some dudes are just like, "Hey, go fuck yourself, you old man."
He did a great interview a couple of years ago, and it was either his last year in New England or his first year in Tampa Bay, and he was talking about his age and staying at a high level, and he was talking about how important it was for him to like know what was going on in music and entertainment and stuff, because he's like, I'm 15, 16 years older than the guys I'm playing with. This isn't like, this is a dramatic thing. And he was talking about like, just he was a young guy, but there was never guys 20 years older than him playing. But now I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of that. Obviously, there's the personal stuff. I think that could
you kind of hope like he's one of them, maybe one of those old, like when you're that level of success in a sport like that, where it's like, I don't know if you guys watched the documentary about the Redeem Team.
I did
on Netflix, where it's like when Kobe, these guys were in Vegas for a month together, and like they were all out at a club one night, coming home at 5 o'clock in the morning. And Kobe was on his way to the gym. Yeah. And they were just like, "Where you going?" He's like, they were like, he was drenched in sweat. And he's like, "I'm going back to the gym." What do you, like, they're coming home from the club. Yeah. And it started to snowball with those guys. Like, and they said like one by one, they started fucking showing up to the gym at 5 o'clock. The whole team started to do it. And like, you wonder if like Tom Brady's at that and he starts doing it and trying to rally it, but it's just kind of having the opposite effect.
It very well might be, because that was a whole thing, like, especially before the Patriots won. They had the 10-year gap where they won Super Bowls. Like when Brady like really introduced the TB12 thing, and he was like, "I'm going to play till I'm 45." People thought it was insane when he said that. You know what I mean? People were like, "Wait, 40." Like the media in Boston, they were openly mocking him. You know what I mean? And the whole thing was like, "Oh, well, he's eating fucking avocado ice cream and doing this. Like, is everyone on the team going to think he's some hippie weirdo?" And that turned out not to be the case, because all those dudes bought into that shit, because it's like he was the, like, just that absolute alpha amongst fucking gladiators. You know what I mean? And like they bought into that, and it's like, dude, like I haven't seen that from this Tampa Bay team this year. I haven't.
I think at any level, like in any industry, at a certain point of everybody playing at the same level, and yeah, you have Kobe's and people that are always going to be like those hard David Goggins, like, you know, whatever, like, but most people like to be professional adults, and I handle my business, you know, handle yours. The idea that Tom Brady's going to have to miss a wedding because other grown men can't catch catch a deep ball, or because they're not watching their tape or whatever. The fact that he has to be like I think that's kind of the mentality you get at that higher level. But now he has to go back to that. Like,
I think he gets a bit of a pass or something for that, but it's like I do think it needs to be questioned. Where
he
it's
only has
like
8 touchdowns this season.
Huh?
He's got six.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing terrible. Dude, he's
Yeah.
under 500 right now. And it's going to be week 7. He's never been a week 8.
Baltimore's a tough team. Like,
without it, it's a short week, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this game,
they put 3 points last week against fucking Carolina. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
embarrassing.
He absolutely has the right to be questioned on his performance, without a doubt. He's the leader of that team.
Do you think they bounce back, or, you know, Ravens minus 1.5? I mean,
these Thursday games are so weird to me because, again, it's like we always talk about it. Like, you don't get the full week of preparation. The scheme is everything's so weird. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. But then again, I look at Baltimore and it's like, dude, how many yards is Lamar Jackson passing for? Because it's like everyone went into the season. He went off to this crazy start and the whole contract thing was like maybe one of the biggest stories of the offseason, at least. Well, it's like, I think so far, the way the season's gone right now, he's cost himself money, Lamar Jackson. He got off to that. Absolutely. Dude, he threw for fucking what? 100? How many yards did he throw for last week?
I have to check. I watched that game actually because I had him as anytime touchdown scorer. It's the Browns, and the Browns aren't that bad. The Ravens definitely should have like ran away with it at a certain point, but he was rushing. I think he had like how many? 87 rushing yards. Let me see.
He didn't throw.
He threw for 120, 9 out of 16, which is pretty abysmal.
If you want to, you're not going to
win a game throwing 120 yards.
No way.
For sure. I mean, who do they have here? They got Bateman. You know, they got Dervani. They got. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have the.
Mark Andrews is an answer. But what I'm saying is, like, the thing is, if he wants a contract like that, it's like you have to justify that. You have to make up. You have to. They're saying this guy wants a $300 million contract.
For sure. Yeah. You got to ball out. Like
you absolutely got to raise your fucking stock when you do that.
The Buccaneers defense is pretty solid. So I think that's probably what the line is really trying to. You know, the fact. I don't know if the Ravens could even. They said they're not a powerhouse.
No.
Lamar's not throwing for 350.
No.
So I mean, the idea is going to go in there and cut up the field.
I think Baltimore's just like it. I thought at the beginning of the season, I was like, holy shit, they're going to be like world beaters. I think they're just like an okay team this year.
Their defense is pretty good. Their defense is.
They don't look the same to me though. You know, they don't. That defense doesn't look the same to me. They don't scare me defensively.
They're like. Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
It's just good. I think it's good coaching. I'm not the biggest Harbaugh fan, but it's like I think they're never going to do like the craziest thing coaching wise.
Tom Brady on prime time with the whole everybody chattering now about the picture of his wife at his fucking grave after he's won 7 Super Bowls, as if he's now buried.
Yeah, I mean,
which we all do it. It's all part of the fucking thing. But you know, does he come out tomorrow night or Thursday night rather? And you know,
I say every week that every week I'm like, all right, he's gonna snap out of it this week. So
3 fucking points against Carolina, dude. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, I know.
His offensive line, I know they have some injuries, so they got, you know, whatever, but he's getting absolutely fucking terrorized back there. But maybe this week, I would like the Ravens here. I think that you can only.
Dude, it was Pittsburgh and then Carolina. They were 11-point favorites over Pittsburgh. They were the biggest favorites to lose. And then they were 13.5-point favorites over Carolina. And they topped that.
3 fucking points.
They've lost to 2 bad teams. I mean, Carolina blew their team up last week. And they won that game handily.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carolina, shit. McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson. That was fucking wild.